I'm gonna ride the bank, I'm gonna walk the train. I'm gonna ride the bank, I'm gonna walk the train. Yeah, I'm gonna ride the bank. Yeah, I'm gonna Fun America gay again. I be rapping like I'm adopted by Bruce Wayne, dressing in tights, but they say that I have been looking kinda gay. Making money at the Tranks every day. I can never pray the gay way. That's on the throwing Beyblades. That's on the throwing Beyblades. I got a Banks and Tranks. I got a Banks and Tranks. What? I'm about to Banks and Tranks. I'm about to Banks and Tranks. What? I'm about to Banks and Tranks. I'm about to Banks and Tranks. What? I'm about to Banks and Tranks. I'm about to Banks and Tranks. What?
5, 4,
3.
2. Can you do the clap?
Oh, okay.
Okay. 5, 4,
4,
3, 2.
2.
Okay. Can we? No. It needs to be in sync, Akif. You can't be counting in a way that's gonna make it fucked for me to sync it later.
Okay.
Okay. Jesus.
5. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 5. Oh.
5.
4.
You don't have to count. I'll count and you clap.
You can count.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clap louder. Okay, we'll do it again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fucking welcome back. Oh wait, I shouldn't say a bad word at the beginning.
Yeah,
of the video.
YouTube doesn't like that.
I'll cut it or whatever. Welcome back to the podcast, I guess. I don't even know why I'm talking right now
because you're not the host today.
Yep.
That's me.
Do you even have your list out? Have to reach all the way into the pocket just to get it out.
Okay. Now we got the list.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everybody to the Banks and Tranks podcast. Today we have me as your host, Akif Ansari, and you got your guest.
Boo.
Okay.
I don't think whatever. Yeah, keep hosting, host.
Yeah, I'm a pretty charismatic host, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, really. I'm a really charismatic host, so I don't really know. Yeah, you're just oozing charisma right now.
I am oozing charisma. What are you oozing with? Fucking bacterias?
Cum.
Gross.
Yeah.
All right,
so we're back on another episode of the Banks and Tranks podcast, and I'm really happy. I'm not really happy to be here. I guess I'm like kind of like okay with being here today. I thought
you should be happy.
I think I felt like I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I wanted to get real this episode.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people think that we're fake as fuck.
I feel like the first few episodes we weren't really being our authentic selves. We were being very like Jimmy Fallon. Very Jimmy Fallon core.
Like, who's that?
And it's like, who wants to be like Jimmy Fallon?
Disgusting.
That guy, he's straight.
Ew.
And I'm probably straight, so at least I'm like better, right?
Yeah, I think marginally.
Because the probably. I think if I was definitely straight, I would not be cool. But yeah, I got there's a lot of stuff going on these days all the time. That's why we have to keep making these fucking episodes. And it doesn't make any sense to me, honestly, at this point, because I feel like we already fulfilled the purpose of this series last week when we went to Hooters.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like...
we
this
acted,
is the epilogue now.
Listen, we acted all dumb. We acted all stupid. It was a social experiment. We were like, oh, we don't know what Hooters is. And then we crafted this whole storyline. Yeah, it was fake. Yeah, that was actually
we were lying.
That was all. We've just been playing characters this whole time.
Yeah,
I know. It's so impressive. We're really good at acting. We're like the best actors of all time.
You guys think that we're faking it,
yeah,
but we're actually reeling it.
So I don't know. It's just whatever. It's like everybody just wants to know our opinion.
We had an epitome. We
had an epiphany is the word, dog.
Whatever you want to say. And the epitome was like, if we're being fake, then what are our fans going to think of us when we try to be controversial we're gonna have such an easy way to get out of it. We're just gonna say, oh, that was our characters doing that illegal crime. Now we're gonna take full accountability for our crimes and misdemeanors. So I just think that's awesome. Sauce.
I still think that if we say something like kind of fucked up, we should still say it's a joke. Like if I said something like, say, I think Drake is a better artist than Kendrick Lamar,
Ooh.
then it's like, oh, that's just a joke, right? Some sexy songs for you just came out on Valentine's Day. Who gives a fuck about that? Go stream some Moonshot 18.
Oh,
right?
You want me to go do that?
Everyone's been saying it, right? Go stream Moonshot 18. They're like the sickest.
I was hearing that in like at my college counseling group.
Yeah. Go stream some Moonshot fucking 18. Here's the link in the description and on the video. It's also on my Instagram page. It's on my WhatsApp. Do we still use WhatsApp?
I don't. My mom.
Did we ever use WhatsApp?
Never. I use it to talk to my mom when she's in India. That's about it.
Why is our mom going to India?
My mom. You're what?
We have the same mom.
Oh. Yeah. She just goes there for.
We have the same dad too, in case you were wondering.
Maybe you do. God.
What do you? Yeah, if I do, then you also do.
Yeah.
That's what this word "same" means.
Oh yeah, parent. Yeah. You just always talking about this bull crap. Bunch of load of.
Did you say bull crap?
This is a bunch of bull crap. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I guess you got that return offer at the Whitey Tidy factory, didn't you?
Oh. Oh yeah. You're always talking about this Whitey Tidy factory.
I'm always talking about You're the one that made up this It's not even Whitey Tidies. It's Tidy Whitey.
No,
and I don't get this. Like, we're only like 5 episodes in, and we're already making references that none of the audience understands.
They don't
get it.
Nobody knows.
Nobody watches this. And where the fuck are we getting all this money to do this podcast?
I don't know.
We bought a new mic for this.
I don't know.
We bought a whole new setup.
There's gonna be some like
Diet Dr. Pepper cans.
I know,
right?
I don't understand. Like, I feel like this whole podcast has been like, is it even a podcast?
Are we even doing the podcast right now?
I don't even know.
We're just talking in the mic.
Here's the thing. I don't even know if the camera was filming.
I don't even know if the camera is on.
Yeah, me neither. We should check after we're done recording.
Yeah, when we're done.
Yeah.
Making the video.
Good.
You guys see if you're listening to this on the podcast sites, which this isn't out on.
This is not
only out on
you
YouTube.
Can only watch it visually.
But if, you could have YouTube Premium and you could just like let the audio play.
Oh,
like as if this is a real podcast. Is this even a podcast? We do a lot of stuff I don't feel like they don't really do on podcasts.
Name one podcast.
Guys, what are we even, why do we have a like whole stack of Diet Dr. Pepper cans?
What does it mean? Like, is there some kind of like symbolism or something for it? I don't know.
Consumerism, capitalism, late stage capitalism. Did you see that? Like every time that I see like these celebrities get onto late night TV shows, they're always saying some shit like, oh yeah, my dog is doing well, my cat is doing great, I love my son, blah blah blah, all this fake bullshit. And then it turns out that they're like cheating, and then they're like sometimes they'll be single, and then they'll be finding a person that has like a wife or whatever, and then cheating with them and do all this other bullshit. But then you get,
that is hella weird.
You get Jeremy Strong. And this guy, he's such this guy, known for Succession, right? That's not the show for today, but I just want to shout out.
Just
Succession.
wanted to glaze Succession.
And basically, every single time that he's on a late night show, he's given some real answers, and it's honestly it sounds like a podcast. And I noticed, like, listening back to our last few podcast episodes, it sounds less like a podcast and more like a late night show, all staged, right? Scripted. I'm not saying we scripted anything. I don't think we did.
I don't think that we would ever write a script for a podcast.
We don't even know how to read, let alone
speak for yourself.
Right.
I know how to
podcast.
I know how to read. You know what?
You know how to read a podcast?
I know how to read a podcast. You know, I can read that right now.
Okay, no, that's not a podcast. That's a fucking Diet Dr. Pepper can. Anybody can read that. Well, I can read a book. I can read a picture book. I can look at a picture book. I can understand the pictures. I can read Braille. Can you do that? Can you read Braille, fucker?
You know, I actually can't because I don't have eyes on the back of my hands like some kind of lunatic.
What do you mean on the back of your hand?
What do you mean on the front of your hands?
I never said that.
Well, what's the
It's
opposite?
on your fingertips. You feel the
bumps.
bumps.
There's the eyes on the fingertips. What is this guy even
Look, this guy is like
about?
pretending. He's acting like he doesn't know what Braille is. But let me just like spoil the secret sauce. This is all bullshit. This is all nonsense.
Yeah, I gotta say,
none of this is real.
We're actually two of the smartest people in the whole world.
The thing is we're actually geniuses,
and we just pretend to be stupid because look at me.
There's a guy
I'm Mr. Clueless.
working in the shadows who's paying
Mr.
us all of this
Clueless.
money to do this.
Two guys, actually. Are there? No. What are we talking about?
Whatever many people, the Banks family. Is that even real? Is
any of it real?
They're probably stealing money from banks.
Yeah, this podcast, like
I haven't even met these guys in the shadows.
Yeah, which is getting me right into our first topic of today. Which is our show for the day.
Right. That's what we always
watch.
What's the topic of our podcast? What is this even about?
I was trying to sell this podcast to my friends because I was trying to get them to watch it, and they said no. And then also I tried to explain what it is, and I was like, yeah, it's like a light MAGA self-help political TV show podcast. And they said
it's not. We're not light MAGA. Cut the bullshit. Okay,
fine,
this is a comedy satire podcast.
It's
supposed to be funny.
It's supposed to
hilarious.
Be satire.
It's the funniest podcast.
This is the fastest
it's the fastest growing. And how many rooms?
And how many
podcasts could you possibly like tell about? How many rooms could you possibly say they're filming a podcast?
There's a room in a podcast, and if there isn't a podcast,
how many times have you even watched a podcast instead of listening to the podcast?
You would never.
Like how many podcasts even have this level of production going on to them? How many of them have like these like
and it's like
towers of Diet Dr. Pepper?
And the podcast, it's like it's a listening and watching experience.
Should we introduce our special guest? I forgot we had a guest.
Oh, we actually do. Yes. Give me one moment to prepare his entrance. Hello. My name is Chef.
Chef, you don't sound quite how I imagined you to sound.
Oh yeah, well, reality is often disappointing.
Okay. Let me you're the host, so can you introduce our guest today, our special guest?
I don't know, something came over me, but this is Chef. Hello, my name is Chef. Yeah, I don't know where he came from, but I think he's going to be a really good addition when we're going to be talking about the TV show for today, which is Victorious.
Hey, I'm sorry, Chef. Can you not step on our host's ability to introduce the topic, please?
Actually, Chef and I had pre-planned that before.
Oh, you guys pre-planned this? You guys know each other? You guys are friends or something?
Oh, yeah.
You guys are familiar with each other's works?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, Mr. Chef, if you're such an expert, have you seen... Because last time I heard, none of your friends like to even watch your podcast.
Well, who said we were friends?
Oh, are you guys what? How do you guys know each other?
So, Chef, I met him a long time ago on the podcast when we were first filming the first episode. Chef, I met him a while ago on the first episode of the podcast on the set, and it was like at first sight. It was just like at first sight. I just could never
It was like at first sight.
I could just never get his head out of my eyes.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. That's some fucking awesome shit that you just said, dog.
Hey, man,
Ow, stop, ow. One thing about Chef is his hands go off.
And your hand goes in, I'm assuming?
Don't mention that.
Okay. Yeah, so we've been watching Victorious again for some reason. You'd think that after the first time we watched it, we wouldn't watch that bullshit again. I don't know. Yeah, what do you think about the show?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that they ended the show on a cliffhanger. I've been waiting a while to see what kind of interesting things they're going to be doing on the show.
Yeah, is that so?
Yeah,
Because I don't think there's going to be... I think they're done with the original idea.
Wait, really? But there's just so many interesting ways for them to put the show together. There's so many, like... I want to know what's going to happen to Ariana Grande's character or other people on that show's characters. I don't really know.
Oven Jogia,
the Indian guy,
Victoria Justice.
I'm really interested in that
the white girl,
the puppet. The puppet on that show he's a real something.
Right. So the puppet is just a character. He's not like a real guy.
What? But he seemed so real.
I get it. You know, this is the stupid podcast where we only do bits. We don't actually talk about anything real. And like this puppet bit is like
it's just one addition to the next group of fighters. I had so many things. I had so many things pre-planned. Like I was gonna talk about how he doesn't like shadow puppets. You know this stick thing? I was gonna do this. And then he was gonna say it's pole dancing.
I think it's kind of perfect that we have a chef puppet because we're really showing how the sausage is made on this show.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, the truth is that every time that we film one of these podcasts, we spend like 5 hours before planning. We went and we're not gonna say what movie it is yet, although you guys are gonna know from like the description or whatever. We watched a fucking whole ass movie today just to prepare for the topic that we were going to talk about. We watched like a 2-hour long video essay. We're watching these deep dives.
I will say it wasn't 2 times speed, but still, that's like whole fucking hour.
We've just like
we've dedicated our entire lives to this podcast.
I spent so many hours editing.
I mean, where do you think
last episode?
Where do you think this puppet came from? Because we sure aren't using the money to buy for him. Wait, what? I thought I met you, puppet. What? Chef?
Are you being recompleted? Or whatever, or what is it in Severance?
Oh, reintegrated?
Reintegrated, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Reintegrate. Integrals, differentiation, man, like...
I'm about to be redifferentiated.
This fucking podcast show is a mess, just like Victorious, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Victorious is such a fucking dog shit show, if I've ever seen one. And normally, like, whenever we talk about shows, we don't really talk about the show. Right,
but this time
we're gonna talk about this fucking show.
Okay.
Let's talk about Victorious.
Yeah.
First of all, every character there is just evil.
Yes, there's no good guy.
Everybody like Jade is so horrible. Andre's like, chill, but he does like, horrible stuff too.
Yeah.
Robbie is like a sex pest. Right.
And then
Dan Schneider
actually
basically count as a character.
Actually, the
real life criminal, by the way.
The puppet, he didn't do anything wrong though. Yeah. I don't think so.
The puppet said some vile stuff. Rex, it was the name of the puppet, and they would have these like side videos. I watched the Quentin reviews videos, okay? That's the thing. We don't even come up with our own original ideas here. We don't even watch our own TV shows by ourselves to come up with our critical analysis. I watched that TV show in the middle of COVID when everything was going to shit.
All my opinions, they're just formed off of like
off the internet.
And
we thought maybe we could help you guys form your opinions and steal it from our things that we say. But it turns out we don't have original opinions in the first place. So how the hell are you guys going to steal anything from us? That's just like trying to steal from AI.
Or like from a bank that doesn't have any money in it.
Or yeah, it's like stealing from like a cryptocurrency bank.
Yeah. Is that a thing? Is that dead ass? Is that shit real? Probably. I mean, I bet everyone already stole from it. It's already gone.
I can't what? All right, you know, Victorious, man, it's also like
they just bully.
They used to
have these sister.
They used to have these amazing hits. Dan Schneider, pedophile, whatever. He put out some like good stuff before. iCarly was pretty solid. Zoe 101. It was weird, but it was something. It was unique. It was interesting.
People liked it. Not me.
Yeah, well, you're such a picky eater, aren't you?
Oh hell yeah.
And what else was there? We had Drake and Josh.
Oh my god, yeah, and then that produced one of the biggest singers of all time, Josh.
Okay, listen, man. Either we've got to be 100% serious doing this episode, or like you can we're not gonna do the bits, man. All right, so cut the crap, man. We know that you were doing a setup where it's like, oh yeah, Drake and Josh, and like, oh, you're confusing Drake Bell with Drake the rapper. But that doesn't work as a joke because I already confused Aubrey and Drake. Like we only have one joke on this podcast, but that's why nobody wants to watch it.
I confused Josh with Josh Hutcherson, but
who the fuck is Josh Hutcherson?
You don't know Josh Hutcherson?
No, I actually genuinely don't.
Okay, let me play a clip from him in real life.
No, what? Okay.
Sorry, I can't whistle, but his thing is he whistles.
Can you not whistle?
My lips are really dry right now, so currently I can't. Yeah, that whistling, that's what Josh Hutcherson does, and that's like.
So that's not singing though.
No, but he's known for it.
Fuck, I don't know him. So is he even real? If I know everything, if I'm one of the smartest guys, because I'm sick of playing this like, oh, I didn't know that Kendrick Lamar was dissing Drake. Of course I knew Kendrick Lamar was dissing Drake. Of course, because I was riding their fucking dicks when the fucking beef was happening.
You have no idea. Under a rock to not know.
You have no idea. Fuck living under a rock. I explained to this guy parts of the beef he didn't even know about. He's like a post Meet the Grams fucker. I was on that shit since Control by Kendrick Lamar in 2013. He doesn't even know what the Control verse is. Whose song was Control originally?
Kanye West.
Big Sean.
Okay, well, trick question.
It's not a trick question, okay? Because that's the thing. You're a fraud. And so that's why you get to act like you don't know anything, because sometimes you just don't.
I'm just a broad. I don't know why you're calling me fraud.
You're
Actually, you can't call me that.
Whatever, man. We've been taking bribes.
This is the most fucked up podcast I've ever been a guest on. Amen, sister. Oh.
You've never been a guest on a podcast. I fucking ordered you. Speaking. I ordered you on Amazon overnight delivery last night. Okay, I fucking killed like 700 trees to get you into our fucking house so we could do this bit.
He's talking to you. No, he's not, Chef. Chef, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Chef.
It feels like usually when I go into these episodes that I just like seem to lose my consciousness, it's just blink and you miss it and then I'm back.
Today I feel very conscious though. Today my conscience is like there. My conscious, your
conscience.
Today my conscience is here.
There's another one of our pre-planned bits, ladies and gentlemen. How are you ever going to be able to trust us when you don't even know But who's even going to watch this episode? Who's even going to get to this point?
I'm going to watch it. I watch all the episodes.
Okay.
And then I find clips, and then I post them on our TikTok, the Banks and Tranks TikTok.
Yeah. I get it. Look, man, the only good guy in the entirety of the Victorious show is the person that canceled the fucking show.
Amen. Or I mean. Oh, wait. Do we even have to do the Muslim bit anymore? We're not even that religious.
I'm an atheist.
I just pray 5 times a day.
Yeah, because your mom makes you.
Exactly.
And it's like,
who's a what's it?
Look. And like, to be real, man, there's one thing I really don't get right. It's just like white people these days, especially that's the one thing we've been real about is white people these days. Oh yeah, right? Like what happened when you were getting groceries?
Oh my god. Okay, this fucker. Okay, this is
real story, by the way.
This is real. This isn't a.
Okay, I know this is some boy cry wolf bullshit, but this is a real story that happened.
The wolf is actually here this
time. The wolf is here,
and he was a bitch. So here's what happened. I go to Walmart. and I'm buying some crap. I'm buying some like laundry detergent, whatever the fuck. The self-checkout is totally full, so then I go into the line to purchase my things, and this guy, he is there with his wife and his like stupid child that's like
how old was the child?
The kid was like, I don't know what a kid's age is, like probably like 7. He was just sticking his tongue out, being a little goober, being a little booger bitch, and then this guy, so they keep on checking out. I swear to God, I'm like, wow, there's only 2 people in the line. This isn't going to take that long. Then finally, after 10 years of them checking out their whole laundry list of items, eventually the guy says, and I've been inching closer. I've been moving closer because I'm trying to get closer to the finish line of this hellfest where all I wanted to do was check out my laundry detergent. And this guy goes, could you back up for me? And I go, what? Sorry, what? Yeah, just back up for me. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? I'm just trying to get further in the line. I don't want to be like backing anything. It's like, yeah, you're just a little bit too close to her, you know? Like, yeah, you're just too close. Like, you don't need to be that close. And so I step back because this guy looks scary as shit. I think he thinks that I'm going to grope his ugly ass wife, which I won't because I wouldn't.
Yeah, and to be clear, it's not because she's ugly.
It's because I wouldn't grope a woman.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, you wouldn't grope anyone. And especially not women.
Especially not a woman.
Specifically definitely not women.
Definitely not that girl, because she was not easy women. On the eyes. So
I don't think he would touch a woman or like look at her sexually.
Absolutely not. Really. Absolutely never would I do that. So here's the thing though, is that just happened, and then they finally leave, and then the cashier tells me, yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
Wow, the cashier fucking apologized on that person's behalf.
And I was so messed up about that because I was going to ask the cashier out on a date because I thought he was a real good-looking guy.
What was his name?
Carson, I think. How did I remember
Wait,
this
wasn't
name?
at the self-checkout, though?
No, this was at regular checkout.
The self-checkout was like cramped or some shit.
Too many people.
But you know what, you might as well have
honestly
given a shot at self-checkout.
I would have rather been there.
There's no drama at the self-checkout lane.
Seriously, everyone gets as close as they want to each other because it's do or die. It's a free-for-all.
Self-checkout is easy. It's just like you wait out in the phantom zone.
But also, there shouldn't be drama with regular checkout. I'm just walking forward
there just always has been, man. Hey, can you shake the... Or wait, hold on. Oh my God.
But yeah, this guy was totally racist, or
I mean, we don't really know that.
He was probably racist, or
again, a total assumption.
Or
actually,
what
was his hairline like? Can you describe this
man?
Receding hairline,
nearly bald. He kind of looked like
You want to push the microphone a little bit away from you? As I told you, you would get loud.
He kind of looked like an ugly person.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Would you, on a scale of 1 to 10,
ugly.
What are his looks?
Ugly out of 10.
Just give me, a number.
-10.
Jesus. So he looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Except, the Hunchback of Notre Dame gets, extra points for at least, being a good guy.
Yes. That's the other thing is beauty. Beauty is, altogether, you put together, piece of shit personality, piece of shit guy, you get a piece of shit, and then it's too much, and then it's -10. See, sometimes we do tell the truth on the podcast, but 99% of this is lies.
Today we're only telling the truth, right? Yeah, we're exposing the lies.
Exactly.
We're not gonna hide behind these characters anymore, man. Folks, the thing is that if you try to hide behind someone who you are not, it turns out that person isn't as interesting as the person you normally pretend to be is. Right? This isn't who I really am. This is a person that I'm pretending to be, that I'm always pretending to be, but this is one that I have more experience with as a character. This is the face that I put on when I go out into the wild, when I talk to people in the streets, when I'm trying to convince them of things. What do you want, Chef?
Being somebody else is awesome. I love being somebody else.
Okay, Chef, if you love being somebody else so much, why is your name the same as your career choice?
It's actually my species. I'm from a legion
Your species.
I'm actually from a legion of chefs.
You're right, yeah.
Here.
So I didn't plan that bit.
To be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really starting to I can't lie, like when the chef looks me in the eyes, like I feel like freaked out when he's talking to me. Hey chef, look at me. What was that? I can't even really see the chef because you keep blocking it. Can you just lean, just sit upright in your chair a little bit and then look at me, chef. Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes and tell me you didn't fuck my wife.
I didn't fuck your wife.
Okay, again.
Today.
Again, you don't have I can't even see his face when you do that, okay? You don't have to be that close to the mic.
Fuck you.
Whatever.
That's a thumbs down.
Oh, okay. You're not your thumb. I don't even think you really have thumbs. It just kind of looks like you have like 5 fingers.
Oh yeah? Why don't you do a face gesture?
What do you mean face gesture?
Do something with your face that isn't just talking. Oh, he got you there, chef. You can't do shit with your face.
Here's how you do a fucking thumbs down, guys.
Chef,
again, I like your face is just blocking him. That's why I told you to like turn the swivel this way.
This is too advanced of a setup.
What do you mean setup?
I mean not a setup, because this is the real podcast.
Oh, you're talking about the podcast setup. Yeah, dude, I told you to just like turn like this, this way. And then look, I can see the chef now.
You don't want to see me. I got my eyes on you.
What kind of genitals do you have, chef?
You don't know what I got.
And that's a quote from Victorious.
That wasn't planned.
Look, here's what I'll say. Staged or not, okay, this was genuinely like a thought that I had before, and it's been really just like irking me. As we all know, I did get probably straight on the gay test the other day. Or really, as only you and I know, because none of our friends watch this podcast. We keep telling people, "Hey, you guys should watch our podcast." They're always like encouraging us.
A lot of effort.
We put lots of effort. They're always telling us.
We're always like, "Oh, let's make this podcast."
They're always telling us this stuff like, "Oh yeah, I think you guys are really so funny. You guys should do stand-up comedy. You guys should do a podcast.
Yeah.
You guys should do a TV show. You guys
should your future.
Yeah, you guys should do all of this stuff, all right?
Yeah.
And in the moment that we actually put in the effort and we release our work, crickets. Yeah.
Only person watching this is a chef.
To the point where it's like I don't want to cancel the podcast. I just want to maybe make the podcast different so that we can appeal to people that'll actually give a fuck about us, right?
Tell your friends about this podcast.
No, you know what? Like, we're gonna by the last topic of this podcast, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna have a discussion about what should this podcast be about, because I'm sick of this. All right. But anyway, all right. Let me get into my planned bit that we planned a while ago after we had this real conversation. Okay, I am so tired. I'm fucking horny. Oh wow. Oh, that's so crazy.
Ew.
Oh yeah, I like women. Oh yeah. Oh, you like girls. Blah blah blah.
Girls.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Okay, I'm sick of it. I try to force myself to have a gay thought. And sometimes I don't have to force myself at all. It depends on whatever TV show, movie. Doesn't matter. The point is I go on Twitter, and sometimes I don't want to see the politics. I don't want to see no nonsense. I just want to see some titties. All right. I see these different accounts.
Me too.
I see these different accounts where they're talking about how, oh, these are the like pretty girls. These are the most beautiful girls on earth. Here's some photos of them. I scroll through and I look. It's all like the same bitch. They look like they're all the same woman on all of these. Just the same blonde, blue eyes, skinny white girl in like a bikini. Okay. The only thing that's different about them is like they have like different. It's so like there's no diversity at all.
Honestly, I prefer the Ariana Grande page because
How did you screw this bit up?
What?
That's not how we were supposed to introduce it.
No. Just listen to this. Listen to this. Okay.
No. The next thing that you were supposed the next thing you were supposed to say is how you don't it's so crazy that you'll go onto these like Instagram accounts like Ariana Grande and there's just one person
on the page.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say
which
next.
is the Ariana Grande page.
All right, go say your line next, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah, you'd be crazy to find out that there's some pages that just has one girl on it.
Why would I be so surprised by that fact? Obviously, there's only pages with one girl on it, right? Like Miley Cyrus, there's only one girl on that, and like there's others. I can think of women off the top of my head. Michelle Obama. There's one. I swear to God, whenever men are asked like to name like women, they always say Michelle Obama. It was like. Can we talk about that for a second? Actually, like for real,
that's like a good topic.
That's actually like for real. Like, why is it always they mention Michelle Obama? Here's the thing. Of all the people? I have so like why don't you jump to Sydney Sweeney first? There's another woman. Zendaya.
Fuck.
Zendaya is another one. There's Melanie Martinez. That's the one I'm gonna come up with next.
I actually don't know who that is.
She's probably before your time. Basically, she's kind of.
Oh, some like old girl, like
yeah. She was like the old guard of not the old guard, but like the 2016 guard of pop girly. So nobody relevant really. There's Stephanie Myers.
Oh, that's a familiar name.
Sophie Brousseau. That's a really rare one. That's actually Drake's baby mama.
Here's the thing. So do they just say Michelle Obama because she's the first lady or because she's the first black lady?
What do you mean?
I think I made myself pretty clear.
No, I'm like genuinely trying to understand what you mean. Well, like what? Oh, how does that affect? How are you implying that affects their decision making of whether she's a first lady or the first black lady?
I'm just trying to think, or is it because
you should bring the microphone a little bit closer.
Or
this is such a
with the puppet, it's too much.
Then put the puppet down.
Hanging up the turtle shell, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like, is it because she's the first lady ever? Is it just like, I don't know? Maybe because of the school lunches. People were like fucked up by
I really think
lunches.
School lunches is a big one.
That could be it.
I feel
like she was one of the most influential first ladies because of the school lunches.
She's definitely, just in general, was one of the most influential first ladies. I feel on the news they talked about her a lot. They never really talked about like Laura Bush
or Joanne Biden.
There's another woman that I just mentioned. I'm so good at
saying, I mentioned one, Joanne Biden.
That's not her name.
Fuck.
Jill.
Oh, Jack and Jill, yeah, went up the hill and married her
name is Jill.
Jack and Jill went up the hill and then they had a fall. Enough has done.
Joe's name isn't even Jack. That's just what he always says. Listen here, Jack. Oh, I guess I can do an impression of him.
No, you can't. This is the impression of him.
Listen here, Jack. The soul of our democracy is under attack, and there's not going to be much that we can be able to stop it. And
with all that crack,
there's just
yeah.
Who is that?
Oh, I was being a rapper.
Yeah, but all these different Instagram accounts, like they do have only one chick on them, but that's but that's still just like one person, right? Like, I mean, well, in a way too, it's just kind of crazy how Ariana Grande's Instagram account has more diversity than these like Twitter pages.
Honestly, it's baffling.
It's
I'm
like
baffled.
how many different races has Ariana Grande been? 1, 2, 3. How many AI are in the? If we count AI, 5, 9, 8, 7.
Well, okay, because let me just think. So there's Blackiana.
Okay,
That's common.
yeah, black Ariana Grande.
Also, Grande was in her name, so I think people assumed that she was
like Hispanic or something.
But
She's actually Italian.
I associate Grande with being white. Exactly, because it's like Starbucks.
It's like the and
Italian.
Italian, yeah. Exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I knew a guy that was Italian, but he made too much food.
Rest in peace to Chef, ladies and gentlemen.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he's no longer with us for now. Wow, this is kind of avant-garde, don't you think? The way that this has just been a chaotic mess of a podcast, but I kind of appreciate it.
I think you're a chaotic mess of a podcast.
I'm not a podcast. I'm a guy.
Yeah, and then you're gonna say I can't read you. All this bullshit. Everything's bullshit.
Yeah, read me right now. What's going on in my head right now?
Yeah, let me read you. You're fat. Red.
Like, to be honest, I was thinking about food.
Dude, like, am I psychic?
About eating Ariana Grande's pussy.
Oh, which flavor? Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
That's crazy, dog. Strawberry. Which one is strawberry supposed to be?
We just watched the movie about strawberry being her flavor in that movie.
All right, Wicked.
That's
the movie that we watched.
That's the movie that we watched.
We were gonna do a whole video. We thought this was such a brilliant idea. I don't know why we've been thinking about it for like 2 or 3 weeks. We're like, this is gonna be an amazing episode.
This is gonna be the best episode.
We're gonna have like a whole episode dedicated to Ariana Grande. We're gonna initially pretend that it's not gonna be entirely about it.
And that's the thing, is it's our one joke, is we pretend we don't know.
Yeah, we're clueless.
That the whole thing is Ariana Grande.
We had that epiphany today when thinking about like how do we get people to actually watch our podcast?
And it's
right? Like how do we market this?
Let's just go with someone that's already famous and
let's just write off her coattails, talk bullshit about her. But what is there that hasn't been said about her?
Yeah,
like
everything that's already been said has already been so.
What? And then it's like
oh,
she and I had an epiphany. It's like what interesting.
Why do you have so many epitomes? It's
epiphanies.
Whatever.
I had the epiphany where it's like, what interesting things do we have to say about anything? Right? We kind of think, we're such smart guys. We can do such great analysis on things. We can give great advice. We can make things funny and stuff. We can do like a whole variety of things. But variety isn't what everybody's really looking for anymore.
Yeah,
is it?
People just really want to either hear their opinions again or hear a joke that they already found funny.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
A joke that they came up with at some point earlier.
Probably.
And they see it again in the video. And they're like, haha, yeah, I've thought of that before. I've thought of how funny it is that, like,
relatable.
Hashtag relatable. It's like my mom is always telling me to go do my homework. Like,
and I'm like, dog, like, my mom never told me to do my homework. So this isn't relatable for me.
My mom didn't really tell me to do my homework either. She said that I would probably grow up to be a total loser when I was a freshman in high school, and that really emboldened me to do a lot of crazy stuff. And
like
eventually I cleaned up my act, and yeah, that's right, guys, I'm not a professional rapper. I'm not gonna say what I am because I don't really care,
because it's a whole thing is that we don't say your real job.
You don't have a job.
I'm talking about your job. I don't have a job. We already knew that. I just said that before. I don't have a job.
Okay, yeah, I guess that was true. Right?
We just the lines.
Sometimes we just say stuff as if it's just like total bullshit that we're saying.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's all real. We're just delivering it in a way that makes it seem like we don't really care about it, that we don't care about what others think of us. And I mean, in a way, I don't think we really do care about what others think of us, but we do care about how many views we get so that we can get like paid money.
Exactly.
Money.
We had a section where we just said, we want money. We want your money. Now that was not a lie.
That's just real.
True. But
we're doing this for the. I mean, this is fun. This is a fun show to do. We had a lot of fun in the last episode.
Yeah.
Episode before that, we had an okay amount of fun on the episode before, and then the first episode was just like a tremendous blast. The first episode
was the
which
one
is crazy because that was
like, wow, like
that was a horror show of a day because that's when Trump got inaugurated.
Exactly. We were able to smile through the pain.
We thought maybe that if we pretend to be other people during this time of crisis, that we don't have to face the reality of and the darkness that lies within that reality.
Yeah, it's so fucked up.
Yeah. What was our next topic?
Yeah, so Wicked was a movie that we watched.
Right, we watched Wicked
because Ariana Grande was in it, and
that was the only reason. Well, spoilers for a few episodes in the future, or I think maybe it's next week's episode. I don't remember. But the Oscars are coming up, and this was like an Oscar-nominated movie, so we did want to kind of review on some of the Oscar movies too. We thought, hey, two birds with one stone. We get to learn a little bit about Ariana Grande. Again, here, I can just summarize it in 2 sentences. Okay, Ariana Grande is a woman that used to be an actress that started off on like shows like Victorious and Sam and Cat, but clearly she had a lot of singing talent that was not being tapped by Nickelodeon. And so some guy, whatever that guy's fucking name was, who's in every part of the music industry and is like hooking everybody up, is the one that found Ariana Grande, and he's like, I'm going to sign you and I'm going to make you into a big star because you're an amazing singer on the level of Mariah Carey. And then she made a bunch of pop songs. But then also, while she was making all these pop songs and building up her fame and doing all this, she alienated a bunch of the people that she already liked. And she just acted horribly. She had all these controversies. And most importantly, she's a serial cheater. She loves cheating on people. And she cannot ever get with a man who isn't single with somebody. Like, just find a man that's single or something. Like, why do you have to...
I don't know.
It's like, whatever. Maybe it's part of the bit. Maybe that's like her publicity thing, right? And that's that's what I'm questioning, right? It's kind of like this podcast. What's real and what's fake? That's the same thing goes for Ariana Grande as it does for us. And I think that's what's really getting us to reflect on these matters here, right?
It's like how all of us have an Ariana Grande within us.
How low of a self-esteem?
Remove it.
Yeah. How low of a self-esteem did we have that we're people say that we're such interesting people or whatever, and that we say such funny nonsense all the time, or all the other lies that they tell us apparently, and to make us feel like we're so cool because we decide to put effort. We put in a little bit of effort whenever we talk to people. And we want to be entertaining. We like it when people laugh. We like making each other laugh. We like making ourselves laugh. So we thought, but we still somehow didn't feel confident enough. We thought that we needed to play these other versions of ourselves.
A facade, like a fake-o-mako
and
guy.
How fake was it? It wasn't fake enough because it was just hollow.
I know. I just saw a version of myself that just said whatever came to mind at all the times and never said anything like real.
Yeah,
I don't think stuff out.
I don't think you would say whatever was the most absurd thing that you could, like light MAGA.
I know.
You kidding me?
Dark fagga. It's like
fagga. I stand by. I think that's funny.
I do think we need to fuck America gay again, but it's like
fund America gay again.
Yes. Or whatever we decided on.
It was fund because it's Banks and Tranks.
Banks and Tranks, yeah.
We're still not going to explain what Tranks means.
We're not going to explain what Trank is because that's planned
spoilers,
for a future episode.
This sounds like the show's getting canceled, but nah, buddy. We're going to be here for a long time.
We're still making the show. We're still just having an existential crisis right now.
Yeah. You know what? The fact that we're on the same page.
The fact that we have the same crisis.
That means that we're in
it for the long.
We're in a great game. We're not delusional, guys.
Awesome
this is going to be like Joe Rogan. Who even is that?
I mean, who even is that guy? Wait, hang on. We know who Joe Rogan is.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm saying, like, who even cares about Joe Rogan,
who is he?
Nobody that says that they like Joe Rogan is a real fucking person. That's just some absolute bot behavior. That's like total bot shit that you can't fucking do in real life.
Only like a beep boop.
Not a real fucking person. Like that fucker from last week. By the way, he was playing a character. That wasn't obvious.
Too.
Okay, but I mean, he literally said it multiple times in the show.
He said, "If you can't tell this is satire, I have news
for you." Yeah, I have nudes for you.
He said news, but his accent.
I'm just saying that it sounds like that. There's no like joke here, right? This is off the dome. This is who we are, unfiltered.
I know we didn't plan any of this.
We
have a list of topics.
We had a list of things we were gonna do. We had a full detailed list of things we were gonna run through. We had notes.
There's like words on this page.
There's so much shit that we're not covering and that we're not going to cover because honestly, I think
we've lost it. We've lost something. But just like when Gojo lost his mind, what did he achieve? Right? Super Saiyan. He figured out how to do reverse curse technique and then mixed it with his regular curse lapse technique in order to create hollow purple and blasted that fucker Toji out of existence. You guys probably didn't even know we watched anime. I never seen an anime in my life.
We watched that show together.
Oh yeah, I saw that show.
You even read some of the manga. You read the Culling Games.
Yeah, but I'm not caught up, so no spoilers.
Dog, you are okay. Whatever. Point is though. Is maybe like we shouldn't be afraid of who we are. Maybe like
I'm afraid of who you are.
Oh, the truth comes out, huh? The truth comes out.
Actually, I just wanted to put a play on that. That was me being the fake guy again, just saying something. It's just how I feel like what I gotta do.
That's always like why can't you just
be
not be yourself. That's bullshit.
Okay,
that's bullshit. You know what?
Worried me there.
Fuck Wicked. Okay, it was only $6 really because I have AMC Stubs A-list. Basically, like if you're paying like $24 a month, which is the price now to watch movies, it's gonna pay. You can watch like they're gonna change it to 4 movies a week.
I will say, if you watch a fuck ton of movies,
if you watch a lot of movies, now to be fair, this was like the first time I'd gone to watch a movie in like 6 months, so. A lot of money down the drain, I will admit, and I should be saving money so that I can afford to do this podcast on a regular basis. But think about this.
All that money, it really just got spent on watching Wicked. If
I did watch movies regularly, and maybe I should. I mean, maybe instead of doing this stupid podcast, I should go enjoy life and go watch movies. With people that I like, but unfortunately, it's like nobody really wants to even watch movies these days with you. That's the other thing.
No, that's the thing.
I mean, I love watching movies alone. It's genuinely like a great experience. When I watched Oppenheimer on IMAX alone, when I watched Barbie, was not as good because Barbie was kind of lame watching it alone because all these fucking families were there and shit. That was lame. Oppenheimer, like rated R movies, you watch them alone. It's like a classic. I would totally watch Dune Part 2 on my own.
It's definitely something where most movies are so expensive now, and basically nobody has the AMC Stubs. That before it was like, oh, this is like a cheap fun thing to do with friends, but now it's like, oh, now I need to like take a loan out of my bank.
And still, like, if you decide to buy like popcorn and all this other stuff, even if you get like some of the Stubs savings, and you'll get like the discounts every once in a while of like $5. It's still like so expensive to go there. So it's like now I'm gonna just be sneaking snacks in. And they always check my ID, so like if I do something too bad, then they're gonna arrest me. That's not great. I have a Diet Dr. Pepper addiction, and that's why we have all these cans. By the way, this is not planned for a bit. I just had a bunch of cans lying around.
Hey, it's not as bad as your Fiji water addiction. Am I right or am I right? Because at least this is diet. Water, it's not good for you.
Again, let's. I get it. You always want to say some funny, wacky shit. Ha ha ha. Some goofy shit. Ha 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 ha. Come get a new joke.
I had to put the puppet down for this.
What are we talking about? Movies are bullshit.
Movies are bullshit.
Fuck, there was something that I really wanted to talk about that I was gonna replace as the real. You know what's total bullshit nonsense is be yourself. And let's really break that down. I think that's what we need to address on the podcast today. So before we get into that, let's just run through the last topic kind of a little bit, I guess. Elon Musk and Trump. Basically, they're the opposite of being themselves, but also at the same time, they're the total embodiment of being yourself and why you should never be yourself. Definitely Trump should never be himself because he's just destroying America.
If Trump were to be himself, he would be a drag queen. And we've been saying that. And he refuses to be a drag queen. I'm being serious right now.
I'm saying I don't even think that's like a matter of being yourself, that's what I want to break down is I think that Trump being a drag queen isn't being yourself. It's a matter of pushing yourself into something that you are truly comfortable with. I think it's not about being yourself. I think it's about just being comfortable, right? Being comfortable, making the people around you feel comfortable.
Trump
if being
is
yourself,
really good at making others feel comfortable around him. He's
fucking the most uncomfortable motherfucker that I've seen, other than Elon Musk, who is like, if I was in a room with Elon Musk, I do not think I could hold back my laughter.
Right. I wouldn't be able to hold back my tears, and I haven't cried since I was 4 years old.
That's not true.
Minus the panic attack I had that one time.
Yeah. Wow, we're getting real with this episode. That's why he has to get therapy now, and he keeps bragging about therapy.
Oh, but I'm about to win therapies, so you guys don't even know.
Which is
so. It's just because he said, "Oh yeah, you've been
there's a new joke. Winning therapy.
Yes, no, I have been winning therapy because he said I'm pretty close to getting a discharge, which I didn't know that this was like the army, but it is. You can get discharged.
Yeah, until he sees this episode of the Banks and Tranks podcast.
Oh, if he watches really this, I'm back in for another 10 sessions. So let's keep this
in a way.
Wraps.
In a way, I think you playing this character on Banks and Tranks podcast has been a way for you to like deal and like cope with the things that have happened to you in your life, right? You get to spend this time not being yourself. You get to celebrate this idea of like the things that you can achieve with just your wit and your ideas instead of with your personality, right?
I would say
this is my armchair psychology segment.
I would say
this is what our like 10th segment today.
Yeah, we have a lot of segments that were not planned. But yeah, I would say that I think my character is kind of a way for me to essentially just constantly be the silly, goofy guy. But you know, sometimes you got to be real man in Mannington, and real man Mannington is not fun to be, but rewarding to be. So yeah, don't be yourself, be the other version.
And he just said real man Mannington, but genuinely I think actual Akif would absolutely say in the middle of a sentence, deadpan with no stress on his face whatsoever, real man Mannington.
Absolutely. I'm kind of the Brit of King Humor.
Maybe like if you're British, like just watch us. Man.
If you're British, like you're in the right place.
If you're British,
we don't like British. Oh, we love British people.
It's really confusing. I think we just hate the British government. Really.
Yeah, I think we just don't like their food. I feel like
we don't like their food, their government.
Terrible.
We don't like it when they try to call a chicken sandwich a chicken burger. That shit pisses me off.
That sucks
to no end. By the way,
calling it capsicum, like. Why are you like so freaky with the vegetables? Come on.
What's a capsicum? Is that like
bell pepper?
That's a bell pepper.
Bell pepper. They're just freaky with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder like getting like a bell pepper tattoo.
Oh, what's a tattoo you would get if you were to get one? Like
I want to ask you.
Tattoo.
I want to ask you that first. What's a tattoo that you would want to get?
So I would get a fire insignia with the Chinese character for fire on it, and then inside of the insignia would be a symbol of Captain America's shield. On top of the shield would be the Star of David, and then one slimy chicken nugget that could have been. Yeah.
I can't lie, that's actually like super badass.
I know. I have it all pictured in my brain. I just need to draw it and then show the tattoo artist, and then
okay.
Most halal tattoo you can get, I think.
Yeah.
What would you get?
Cum. I'd just get like all over my arm, just cum. Or maybe like on like my leg, right? Just like little stream, little streak.
Ew. What is that?
Splooge running down my leg.
What does that even look like? How
cum? You've seen cum, right?
I'm just saying, like,
you watch porn.
I'm just saying, like, is it gonna have like a little like indicator of what it is? I feel like it could be confused with milk. Maybe.
Is that your? Okay, yeah. I mean, I think if we can do it, if we have the technology for it, maybe it can be like sticky.
Yeah, well, all I know now is I will never let you step foot into a tattoo shop. Ever.
That would probably be like my 20th tattoo. So
oh, yeah, show your other 19.
I'm not gonna do
Are
that.
they all tramp stamps?
I'm not going to show my tattoos here.
Yeah, you're not gonna show your 19 tramp stamps. Good fucking riddance.
Dude, you can be so no. Look, I think being yourself is usually some bullshit advice. Elon Musk is always on his being yourself nonsense, and look where it got him. Okay, he's the fucking biggest loser to have $1 billion ever.
The thing with being yourself is I think people that are cool will say that. But if you're lame, why would you be yourself? I just don't get it.
I honestly think a lot of people that are cool that say be yourself are also super insecure about who they are. And I think a lot of coolness is like can be genuinely forced. There's like there's honestly very few people that can really like nail it.
No, it genuinely is something where it seems like every single person knows that they don't know what's good, like that they don't have it down. But in order to convince themselves that they have stuff down, they will just tell other people what they kind of want to tell themselves and also what they want other people to like
what
think.
Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely, like, even as I'm sitting here and I'm telling the audience and I'm telling you that if I really wanted to solve my problems, I wouldn't be going off of this mantra of be myself. I would really try to like cultivate something that's like, have I really put in the work? Have I really gone in and put in the effort to actually become the like version of myself that
like self-actualization?
Really, yeah, like self-actualizing. Like, when am I gonna put down the burgers, man? When am I actually gonna get out there and get more active again? And get like the physique that I want, and then the confidence, and like I don't know, and I just like don't smile enough. I feel like
Okay, I don't smile that much, but I think it's funny. I think, well, you know, I was thinking about it again. I feel like the old guy that was mad at me could have been mad at me because I have a resting bitch face, but I'm just gonna call him racist.
I don't know. Yeah, he's weird. Yeah, it's just I don't know why it just sometimes it just feels uncomfortable to smile, and I think it's because smiling is vulnerable. I don't think we talk about it enough how vulnerable smiling can be. I mean, I guess it depends on who you are and the culture you grew up with.
Also,
but in our family, yeah, it does feel like
also the way that people in general act. Like, I will see enough posts of stuff where it's like somebody being happy and then somebody will comment like, and this guy thinks it's all gumdrops and sunshine.
Oh, doesn't he know that there's a genocide happening in Palestine right now? Doesn't he know that? Which, by the way, I haven't seen that comment in a little bit. I don't think I've seen that shit since November, since Trump got elected.
You know, they could be just censoring that at this point. I mean,
to be honest,
who
I think
runs Twitter.
I want to say I just think it's the CIA, man. I think it's a psyop. I think this whole like people saying like
I just know it's not the CCP.
It could even be the CCP. Who even knows? Come on, let's cut the shit. Let's cut the shit, man. All right. These fucking pro-China socialists, I'm also really sick of them. Like, you guys try to talk about how leftist you are and how much you really care about these woke issues and stuff. And it's just like so half-assed. You guys see the first people that decide to claim themselves to be communists, and you're like, yeah, those are the guys. They're like state capitalists at best. You know, they do their whole dangism routine and all this other nonsense, but they're still an imperial force if I've ever seen one. Yeah, they're not the U.S. imperial force. The U.S. sucks too. Spoilers. But so does China. So does Russia. So do most of the large countries. They suck. They're bad. Everything is bad.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what?
Which isn't me saying that you shouldn't smile and like have fun and enjoy it. But I'm just mentioning in this moment, in this specific situation, like
it feels like there's constantly an invisible person on your shoulder telling you not to.
Honestly. And here's something I was talking to my coworker about. Again, not gonna say what my job is, but it does require a college degree, I guess, if that helps. I don't know. It's a technical role. I do some things maybe on a computer that might involve like writing commands or whatever. But
just say it.
So I was talking to my coworker, and I was really thinking, and I hope he's watching this episode. You better be watching it because you're gonna know who it is once you hear this. And if you're not watching it, then I'll know because you're
a fake friend.
You're not going to say yummy yum I love cookies to me when we're just talking to each other.
Oh, that's crazy.
Time.
Using code in your job with
he doesn't code. He doesn't code.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't know how to code.
No, but I'm saying like using a code to communicate with him. That's
right.
Very interesting that you would do that.
So, look, we were talking about how it really feels like the way media and content has changed. I swear to God, 20, 30 years ago, individual people did not have as many opinions about as many things as they did as they do now. I feel like you have to have an opinion about everything.
No, okay. Also, yeah, no. Nobody can be like neutral about something. You have to like,
or just say I don't know, or I don't care,
I don't know
or
that much about this thing.
Yeah, or like if it's like a political issue, I think people should be educated, and I do think people should care and not be like neutral about certain issues. Like you shouldn't be neutral about Palestine, but
like, why do you have an opinion on like this like hyper pop album if you only listen to Taylor Swift?
Yeah, why are there people trying to bully Billie Eilish for the quality of her album and saying like, oh yeah, it's so funny that you didn't win any Grammys because you actually made a bullshit album? No, she didn't she made a great album. I don't want to sit here and try to like defend her fans that act super insane, that were being vitriolic towards the Beyonce fans over the Cowboy Carter win. But I have to be honest, Billie Eilish made a fantastic album that frankly I'm more likely to listen to and play on a regular basis than Cowboy Carter. And that's just my opinion. That's just like a thing that I'm gonna do. Now, do I think that it should have been the one that won the album of the year? Obviously not. I mean, if you go back to the Grammys episode where I say, and all of my predictions, by the way, were based on like totally like real, like what I genuinely thought deserved the win. And Brat, I thought was it was the most like culturally defining album of last year. Literally, Kamala is Brat. It was something that affected our political, our election, right? Mm-hmm. Even though Cowboy Carter is American and was very explicitly using American like symbolism and stuff, Brat simply just had a way larger imprint on the culture than Cowboy Carter. Everybody, like, not everybody, but a lot of people listen to Brat.
Another thing with that is I feel like people in general want to have the correct opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Which is nonsense, right?
I think
you can't have a correct opinion.
No, but I think it's generally something where people will go out of their way to get their opinion from somewhere else or kind of gauge their opinion off other people,
or honestly,
so that they're correct.
You're just forced to have an opinion. You're scrolling through your TikTok and they'll just recommend you, or you're on Twitter or whatever, and they recommend you like some kind of content that's somebody is making a case about this thing that you frankly don't know much about or don't care about. This is your first real introduction to that information, and just off of like natural human bias, you're going to be swayed to their side, or you're going to be forced to make some kind of stance about it that you didn't really like need. And here's something I recommend to everybody. One, don't comment on anything. Except for our videos.
Please comment
Please
on
do
our
comment
videos
on ours.
So that we can
give us engagement. But like,
seen.
Don't get caught into rage bait. It's such bullshit. There's so many things that are out there that are just out there to get you and nothing else. Don't pay any attention to that. The next thing I would say
form your own opinions.
Be careful. Yeah, form your own opinions and be careful what you like. Oftentimes there'll be like a big take that's on Twitter, and it'll be something that I disagree with. And in the past, I know that sometimes I would be kind of swayed to that position because it seems so popular. Oh, it has so many likes. I don't want to be left out. And then it'll just be a take that I just know for a fact I don't agree with. And so I just wait a little bit. And then lo and behold, somebody quote tweets it with even more likes to have my take. And then that gets affirmed. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you guys to go out there and go get all of your opinions affirmed. But I do think that, and I do think people should change their opinions and change their minds about things and educate themselves and blah, blah, blah. But you should also stand on business sometimes, especially if it's about a thing that you really believe in. If it's like a political take of some kind, People are saying, "Oh, people are too woke these days."
Some
if I see something like that,
are like quick to fold. Also,
yeah, absolutely.
Where they'll just like hear it and just be like, "Okay, actually, no, I think I'm wrong.
Yeah,
and then switch it up.
Yeah, and then obviously there's a lot of people that'll be on the opposite. So many people. Oh my god, we live with one of those people.
Oh yeah, where they absolutely will not change their opinion, regardless of how much information is given to them.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Whoever like the first person that gave or the first thing that gave them an opinion or whatever they just
is like fact
that like feels emotionally correct, that's the one that they go with. And that's most people, right? That's genuinely a lot of people don't have informed takes about things. And I feel like part of I think what I find the problem with the podcast is looking at our strengths, and this is getting into that last section of what is this podcast really about? What are we really gonna do? What's really the future for Banks and Tranks podcast?
You.
It's about you guys, but more importantly for us, we have to consider what are our strengths. And I think our strengths is not just in saying total funny nonsense, and like I think we're really good at doing it, to be clear.
I think the podcast is awesome.
I think our podcast is like brilliant. It's just so hard to sell.
It's just
right?
like
and it's
our
so
audience
hard to,
is 12 people.
And it's so well, and I think we could have a broad audience, but I think that only happens if you guys get to know us. So I think I want to be a little bit more real, and I think I want to provide on my behalf. I want to provide what I think are my greater strengths. I mean, you'll notice that I'm talking way faster on this episode than I did on any of our previous episodes. This is probably closer to the rate that I actually talk at, right? Like,
I think I'm probably talking slower.
You're probably talking a little bit slower because you're not coming up with a bunch of bullshit to just like say and stuff, right? But it's like I know it can be tough to be real, especially for you. You don't ever want to be real.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I use comedy as a coping mechanism.
Not even talking about. Oh yeah, that's a story as old as time, right? Oh, using comedy as a coping mechanism. I don't even think it's just using the comedy as the coping mechanism. It's like it's just easier to not be yourself because you like if you say an opinion as a joke, you don't have to commit to that opinion.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, this is satire. Okay, well now I can just avoid all
accountability.
Conflict.
Yeah, you can avoid any way to be held to some kind of standard in something that you actually believe in.
Yeah, but right? I want to be controversial.
About what?
I want to be controversial about
stuff,
things.
Yeah.
I want to have the wrong opinion.
And going back to Ariana Grande, who's really who's
the centerpiece,
the inspiration of this episode.
I will
say the inspiration. She was going to be the topic, but now I want to see her as an inspiration and a cautionary tale as well.
And I mean, she's not as big of an inspiration for us as the Hawk Tua.
Oh my god, we were so close. It's been we could have gone through a whole episode without mentioning that woman's name.
Hallie Welch.
That's not even Hawk to a Girl is not even her name, so I don't even know why I'm crashing out. Look, the point is the light that Ariana Grande brings to our episode here today is that idea that look,
she's always playing a character.
She's always on some shit.
Yeah.
She's never really who she like. We don't really know who she is, and frankly, we don't really know who most celebrities are, and we shouldn't really be having these kinds of parasocial relationships. And that's all part of the marketing. That's all part of getting you getting you caught up into the pop culture.
Right now, we want you to have a parasocial relationship with us.
We want you to have a real relationship with us.
Oh,
okay. Like these dating apps are just not working out for me. See. Finally, I just made a joke that isn't just me being clueless. We could have been doing this the whole time.
Oh, clever wordplay, interesting intricacies of a language,
and the fact that I'm single as fuck,
and self-loathing or self-deprecation.
Self-deprecation for sure. Self-loathing, I don't know. I mean, yeah, going on the dating apps is tough just for like
in the trenches
from a physical attraction perspective. I have trenches of Leawood too. Fuck this place. I have a way better time talking to people in general and making connections when I'm genuinely talking to them, and when I'm putting in energy into being using my charisma, being some semblance of who I really am or how I feel about myself, and projecting that into the world, projecting that energy into the world and getting that energy back.
Yeah, and you
And
know,
that's- dude,
one
you-
thing I'm thinking is we should be as open as possible on this podcast, which is why I'm about to take all of my clothes off.
Okay, I don't know if you should do that. No, please. Please.
Okay, I won't do it.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. I was wearing a Just Do It shirt under the whole time.
yeah, and believe it or not, that's actually a hand-me-down from me.
Well, it's the theme of this episode is Just Do It.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? Was that planned? That's actually such a crazy coincidence. Like, how did that even work out like that?
Very, of course it. How would it not? God, no, I didn't plan it at all. I just remembered that I was wearing this ugly ass shirt.
It's a hideous shirt. I can't believe I would wear that shit.
I would never wear this on live television. Good thing only 30 people watch this podcast.
30 views, and like I swear to God, probably half of those views are just us.
Probably on the different
clip farm.
because it's so funny. We're just so interesting.
We're so entertaining. We love our
own podcast. Why don't you guys love it? Why don't you guys love it as much as we do?
I'm sure if they actually give it a chance, they would love it. They just don't know us.
Yeah.
You know, or they don't really feel us through the things that we say.
Hi, my name is Akif.
Hi, my name is Suhaib.
Shake his hand.
You don't have to shake my hand. And look, you know, we're two completely irony poisoned.
No, it's a problem.
Zoomers.
Like I can't do anything unironically. Like
Yeah.
I'll like drink water and then I'll be like, ha ha ha, this is like a dihydrogen monoxide, yo, it's a reference.
No, it'll literally be like, oh my God, water drinker, people who only drink water seeking attention. I literally make fun of him for drinking water.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even drink it on the podcast. This is the guy that drinks it on the podcast, and we don't make fun of him for it. I don't make fun of him for it. You know, probably. This is
such a waste of money.
Honestly,
it's not that great.
Honestly,
like I love it, and it literally all started as a joke. I'll show the picture from my fucking Instagram account. You remember the aesthetic photo of me holding up the Fiji water?
I remember
this is
that.
A joke that I started with my friend back in high school. We loved watching JoJo's and stuff, the straightest shit of all time. And and we had these we would do this like aesthetic shit, Fiji water, take like, you know, I would take photos with Fiji water, right? Because it was just like, I don't know, it was just like kind of quirky. It was just like whatever, yeah, it's like an inside joke. Like we were always the real joke started from we were always trying to find what water we were going to drink. Like legitimately, there was a time where we were drinking distilled water. Then our physics teacher, who had a chemistry degree, told us you're not supposed to drink that shit. I was like, oh,
how much did you drink?
Honestly, this is first time here on the podcast. I'm gonna reveal this, and this is actually like kind of wild because I don't think I've ever talked to you about it. So you're gonna find out about
live
this
reaction.
Story.
Let me tell you, my live reactions are pretty lukewarm.
Yeah. So back in 2016, when I was a sophomore in high school, that's when we were doing a little bit of that distilled water stuff. You know, we enjoyed taking our chemistry classes and stuff, and at some point I got like sick in this way that just didn't make any sense. Like I was just always dehydrated. My throat was just so dry. I just like always had these constant headaches and nausea, and nothing really made sense to me. Right. And eventually, like, you know,
you asked your physics teacher for guidance instead of the school nurse.
No, this was just all at home. Okay. And by the way, let me just finish the story. The thing is I missed like 2 weeks of high school. And these were such pivotal moments, like to the point where it affected my grades in a way that it entirely affected probably where I went to college. Right. And these things, like after I'd finally figured my shit out and had gotten past like my freshman stuff, I got sick near the end of sophomore year and didn't end up getting like the exact grades and the situations that I really wanted. And I was having this problem with this girl that I was like kind of with, and like all this other bullshit was happening. And also this other girl that I was talking to and that I liked more, but then she stopped talking to me. And all this other nonsense that that frankly and like I mean really I only like all these people were really just like I was just developing friendships for the first time because I was a fucking loser at the beginning of high school. All because of things that I'm definitely not going to talk about, but you know what I'm talking about, like the reputation that I had like early on in high school. It was really tough for me to just deal with those things. And I'm at this point, I get sick, and I looked back after years. I'm like, I think it was me drinking distilled water that caused me to be sick in that exact way that I was, and missed so much of that school. And as soon as I got back, my fucking teacher was gone in math, and we had a substitute teacher in pre-calc. And this fucker made me take the trig identities test, even though like I'd been sick for 2 weeks and I didn't have any time to prepare, and I had no idea that there was even going to be a test that day. Because I had an Android phone, so nobody even texted me really, except for like the 4 or 5 people that I talked to that I put an effort into talking to.
So would you say that this drinking...
So distilled water ruined my life.
So distilled water ruined your life, and Fiji water...
Fiji water kind of replaced
it.
Yeah, Fiji water became a replacement. It became a symbol to me of, I think, who I wanted to become, right? It became So
do you think that on the podcast you were more distilled water Suhaib or Fiji water Suhaib?
I mean, I don't think I was really
diluted.
I don't think I was really either. I don't really think I'm saying right now, like me, Suhaib in real life, I don't think I'm either. I don't think I'm anything. I don't think I'm any kind of water. You know? I think I'm just...
What kind of water would you be if you were to be a water?
I think at this point, I'm just some, like, tap water. All right? Like, some fluoride is in the water.
I'd be salt water.
You'd be salt water.
Do you know why?
Why?
It's real salty.
You're saying you're a salty-ass bitch? Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, you are. You're pretty salty.
Pretty bitchy.
Pretty petty. Like, it runs in the family. It really runs in the family, right?
Yeah, my sister, she's such a... No, you can't say that on the podcast.
Look, this was probably the best existential crisis episode of a podcast in history.
I mean, it's the fastest growing podcast, so of course at some point we would grow up to be existential.
I guess. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming probably for the next episode.
Yeah, we're probably gonna make no
developments or changes.
We're just not even gonna acknowledge this episode as existing.
Yeah, this is
kind of like a dark web episode.
Yeah, and
wait, what's his name? Mark Webb?
The truth is it's more like Mark S.
Yeah,
because this whole time, the first 4 episodes were actually made by our innies.
Oh my god!
And I don't even think they realize that.
They never will.
They never will. They're gonna think
because
they're the real
we're
guy.
the Audis, so we got to control this biz.
Yep, and we watch all of the footage back. We know what they did.
Those guys are crazy. By the way,
they are
crazy,
wild. It is really interesting what we would do without our memories, without the precious memories, like how distilled water fucked my life up. And by the way, during that time that I was sick off of the distilled water, that's the first time that I watched season 1 of Better Call Saul, which is the only season out on Netflix at the time. But there was already 2 seasons, but also I'd never seen Breaking Bad in my life, and I didn't even know that they were related to each other until my friend Matt. Shout out Matt, love you Matt. You should. I don't think I've actually linked this to you yet, but you should watch this if you have time. I know you're busy, and like really really busy. So I totally understand if you don't watch it. All the other people, they're losers. They have a lot of time on their hands. They should watch it. But
that goes for you too, losers. My losers.
And yeah. That's gonna be our explanation for this show, I guess. Really revealing the secret sauce. Yeah, we were, and maybe in a way, I think innies, outies, all that stuff, it really represents like acting, And I think the universe...
It's also the whole idea of Ariana Grande, that we...
Yeah, Ariana Grande had her innie, and then now she has her outie.
Her innie
it really makes you think, like, we always play a character. And even, like, the way that I'm presenting myself. Is this really who I am?
I know. Like, should I just do it?
Yeah. It's like maybe it's closer to who I am. It's still like me trying to be comfortable in front of the camera rather than like you can ask this guy right here. This isn't how I really normally behave and act and
I
talk,
would say
but it's closer.
It's closer.
But it's somewhere in between. But I don't think I could ever really
think it's because also there's a relationship that we need to create with the viewer.
Yeah, we need
over time where we become more comfortable talking to you guys.
I think we need to start doing these episodes live and get a chat.
I think we should start live streaming on your art account, the podcast. They'd love this.
What art account?
Oh, you don't have an art account. You have like a Pepsi account or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepsi.
Yeah, but shit, what should our podcast be about, man? So what do we know about?
Okay, so
last topic, then
I think our podcast shouldn't be about other people's podcasts.
So that's an idea. All right, let's keep running through the ideas.
Sure,
we don't want to just stop.
Yeah, let's not.
Idea
the first one,
the first stop.
The first one, it's really good, so we'll put a pin in that. But like, let's get some like other ideas, just to have some options on the table.
We can always talk about, I guess, the state of music.
A food review podcast. Would people watch that? Like just like chewing. Like if you're just listening to it, it's just chewing.
Or like,
do you guys like that?
Or like if we're talking about like food, like we go to like these restaurants and stuff.
Well, I'm saying we eat on the podcast. I'm saying
like a mukbang podcast.
Yeah. Okay, 2 ideas down. Third one's the charm, right?
So we can talk about like music and music culture and whatever.
I think music.
But it's like what would we add to it? That's also the question we have to ask.
I know.
Wait, can you shake the mouse? Oh no. Yeah, it shouldn't need to do that. But yeah, I'm just making.
But no, that's kind of the other thing we were saying earlier is like, what do we even have to say? We certainly have things to say.
I think we do have things to say, and
and ways to say them.
But I think we've gotten so busy with the podcast in and of itself that at this point, sometimes like we're just talking about, oh my god, remember that part on the last episode of the podcast was so great.
Yeah,
and we spend so much time doing that we run out of time.
And then it's just like
to talk about,
and it's like we can't talk about the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think that idea from earlier about talking about podcasts on the podcast doesn't really work because that's what we do in real life, and it doesn't really work as well in real life.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Crap.
Yeah,
I think we should talk about exercising.
Let's go to the next idea. I don't think we're there yet. Physique wise,
okay,
I think people have like a size requirement like Hooters.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
What's like a thing that we care about, man?
Look, like I've been asking that, and I'm like,
what do you care about?
I'm pretty sure I'm the I don't give a fuck war's strongest soldier.
Yeah, I feel our thing is we're so good at talking about anything. Right.
But most people just want to hear about one thing.
Yeah, so that means that we need people to like us.
Yeah. But then like
we're in the
catch-22 where we need to get famous to get the podcast going, but then we need the podcast going to get famous.
Yeah.
But if you don't get famous, then the podcast isn't going. Yeah.
And I've been saying that, and that's my idea too that I also came up with because I'm a smart guy.
And we're both so intelligent. We're like some of the smartest guys in the whole wide world.
We're definitely really smart.
And we're trying to make a podcast.
We have a lot of intelligence points up there.
Oh, for sure. My intelligence quotient is...
Honestly, like, it takes so much brain power to act as stupid as I have on the last few episodes.
Yeah. No, and
I enjoy it.
Tough.
It's
but
enjoyable.
It's fun. It's fun, but it's tough.
But it's like, I'm just naturally such a...
No, because it's like, how stupid can you make yourself?
Yeah.
Where it's like, sometimes we
like
forget...
It's so the opposite of me because I feel... And you know what? Maybe we can do this. Or actually finish your sentence and I'll...
I was going to say, sometimes... It's like the amount of stupidity we need doesn't even work because, like, for example, when we were talking about the TikTok ban, and then we're like, wait, did I even know if TikTok was banned or did I not? Like, we're like fighting over what we even know.
Right. We're retconning ourselves in real time, one could say. Or what a normal person would say is we had no fucking idea what we were doing. And that's actually kind of true. That's basically.
But like we
that's
fake
basically
it.
what it
We
is.
fake it
Because
till we
we
make it.
decided that we would both be talking about how we did that challenge that we never even ended up making the actual YouTube video out of. We do have the footage, but it's like it just doesn't work because TikTok didn't actually get banned yet.
Yeah.
So we still need that story to close over before we even make that video. But what was I gonna say? Man, I'm losing my train of thought a lot.
I think we should make a podcast about making movies.
Making movies. I was actually kind of thinking that could be kind of interesting. Like about like video ideas and like ideas that we could talk about, stories, reviewing scripts. We could ask the audience to submit scripts to us that we just review.
Wait, yeah.
then
Like
we
a
just,
writing podcast.
Yeah, that's kind of that's
man,
always been our
also...
bread and butter.
wait, and we also like
it's perfect because we write the podcast. We've been writing the podcast.
So we
this
just
whole time.
Instead of this, we just have writing. On the podcast. Maybe that's an
we
idea.
talk about like scripts. We talk about, and we could talk about comedy.
And then that also kind of ties it, not to like again be the like.
We could have an episode that we make about on cinema at the cinema.
Yeah,
and breaking that down. I think that would be an awesome episode of
I was
podcast.
thinking that.
And then if you know, Almost Friday TV, amazing fucking YouTube channel. I don't think this guy has seen their videos.
I have not.
He's seen Royce DuPont on the Entrepreneur channel, who makes like those amazing like TikToks. Yeah, what if we just turn into like social media content review? Wait, maybe you're like podcast idea talking about that's kind of maybe the first idea is the winner.
Is the best
you just have to refine that idea.
That's actually true.
Macro data refinement of the first idea. So that's our first writing tip: is the first idea that you have
is always the
best idea.
But just,
and our second one
is write it to make it
show.
Tell, don't show.
And our second one
is tell, don't show. That's the name of the book.
That's the name of the book that we're going to
sell. Dude, that you give us money.
Money! That's what it's all about. Our first idea was, how do we make money? Our second idea was, let's do the first idea. And so we're going to make money off of this podcast when we sell the books. And then we're going to teach people how to spend $1 million. When you get $1 million, that's the first thing that you do with it. You can't just willy-nilly use that money on anything.
Exactly.
You have to use it in the right places. Like a service.
Like a service that costs $1 million.
That's for something that we're going to talk about in another episode. We're going to
talk about it.
Oh my God.
The other thing I was saying is writing can also extend to musical writing, like lyrics.
Like songwriting, lyrics. Yeah, we can write.
Movie writing, show writing.
Movie writing.
People like write stuff like all the time.
Really?
Like, pen on the paper. Shakespeare, like he was writing shit.
I think that the podcast in and of itself is a vessel for storytelling, right? That's why some of the best podcast clips are people just telling stories. The whole experience of humans is just about sharing stories with each other. It's why we created art. It's why AI art is bullshit. It's why we created society.
That's why the AI guy's off the podcast.
Yeah,
for now.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really believe in
anything
the
that's
stuff,
real.
anything that he said, except for like the Kenyan government stuff. I think.
Oh, I think that stuff was real.
Yeah. But, look, I feel, and this is the last thing that I wanted to say. I wanted to ask what we feel that like our strengths just on a whole, like as people that we really provide. I'll go first, and I think you'll agree with this. I think my greatest strength is perspective. I think I'm able to provide a unique perspective on most topics, right? Even in this episode alone, I've said so many things, so many original thoughts, so many original perspectives and spins.
Nobody has had distilled water sickness besides you.
Right? And you were, and then there was a part where you were talking about, oh yeah, I use comedy to cope. And it's like, yeah, we've all heard that one before. But let's talk about let's get vulnerable with it. Let's really dig into why do we sometimes over rely on comedy? And it's just because it's just easier. It's just more comfortable to do that than to, put ourselves out there and have to have our ideas be criticized seriously. So, I mean, not that that's like the most original idea, but I'm just saying that I like to provide as many perspectives on the same idea as possible, right? Really exhaust the perspectives on it. What do you feel your strength is?
I think my strength is saying bullshit.
What's your real strength?
Okay.
What makes your bullshit fun?
I would say
place? Maybe we haven't broken that
I
down.
commit really hard to an idea.
You have a strong commitment to ideas.
And I'll take it to the finish line, and sometimes I'll take it beyond the finish line to the point where it's annoying.
Yeah, and people might think that you're taking it too far.
But enough people are able to go along with the ride in my experience that I'm like, okay, I think I will keep doing this.
That's a fantastic example. This guy was going insane over winter break right before we started this podcast. Like literally,
hey, I can tell my story.
Okay.
Yeah, so over winter break, I had nothing to do, and I was going through another existential crisis. I have like one of those like every like bi-weekly, like it's fine. That's why I started going to therapy. But
bi-weekly,
by whatever you want to say. But then I discovered this has been a lifelong dream of mine is to make the Donald Duck voice to be able to say, "Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy." And I thought you needed a special talent to do it, so I was discouraged for forever. And this is why I say you can do anything if you put your mind to it, which is when Suhaib pulled up a video on how to do it.
Because I have unique perspectives. I'm like,
how to do the video.
Look, nothing's impossible.
On how to do the Donald Duck voice. And then I started going insane. Every single day I was doing
Posting
the Donald voice.
And
I was
chats.
saying day one of the Donald Duck voice. And it started with like, and then it got to like where it is at now. So
yeah. And I think that I also feel I have that commitment too. I think that runs very strongly in our family, is having a strong commitment to things. I think most of us are about that, especially on our mom's side. Yeah. So that's how I got into the process of my art. I make so much art. I make music. I draw. I make and you also do a lot of different art. I mean, those paintings that up on the wall covering something that
we'll reveal eventually.
They this made by yours truly, Akif here. And I'm the one making like the thumbnails and all that type of stuff, and like the graphics for like the Hawk to a matchup. That was a natural way for me to introduce it. It doesn't count because I'm referencing the last time. Oh, okay, I guess we already mentioned it, so it doesn't matter.
Well, the idea was that both of us would say it independently, which was planned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. I totally forgot about that. That was like something I said yesterday, where we would just bring it up, but without telling each other how we would bring it up.
I remembered, and I didn't bring it up because I'm so committed to not sharing my secrets.
Yeah, that's a very strong commitment to a character, to a bit. I think that's definitely good. I feel like that's your relationship with art. I guess I would say I have a lot of commitment to what's really truly like deep down. What makes your bullshit truly work? What makes people be like? Because I hear bullshit all the time, and I feel. Here's the thing. When I do bullshitting, I feel like my unique perspective is a big part of how I go about that bullshitting, where I do kind of say like a real point in the middle of the bullshit. What makes your bullshitting so amazing? And how does it set apart from not just my bullshit, but I've seen a lot of people do the bullshit thing and they just don't do it as well as you do.
Let's see. Well, I have different modes, I guess, because I'll either say something that I mean I'll say something serious where the cadence seems like I'm joking, so then they don't take that seriously. Or I'll do the opposite of just like saying something absolutely insane in a very deadpan and normal way. So I think the switching of the modes gets people, and then also that like I don't really warn. Like, I feel like there's not really a warning that people, like, are able to look for, so it'll surprise. Like, I have the element of surprise down.
So I think element of surprise, that's a very good, like, strength that you have, and that's shown up on the podcast so far. And maybe kind of digging deeper into putting it into one thing, or what I maybe we can also talk about what we see as each other's strengths, right? And yeah, digging deeper into that idea of element of surprise, I think you do a really good job of having patience with a bit. I think you have a lot of patience, and you don't necessarily give things away immediately, and you also let things kind of build up, even if you don't know where something is going. When you're starting a bit, you eventually get there, or the idea that you didn't know where it was going becomes the punchline. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a really cool style of coming up with ideas on the fly. Like, you have a lot of really great on the fly thinking, I feel, with those types of bits. Whereas I think
you excel in like the planned comedy.
I think I can do on the fly analysis of things, but when it comes to saying like funny stuff, I think I definitely I just enjoy planning in the first place. I really love the process of coming up with different types of situations. I have definitely my moments where I go off with the comedic stuff, just on the fly. But those planned moments, those written ass fucking spots are also just like something I really like to have. Yeah, I think one thing, especially between us, I think it's easier definitely for me to go into a serious mode than it is for you. Be like, I think I would say I'm serious by default, but then I can turn my humor on. You're humorous by default, but you can turn your serious on, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the difference of how we like tend to go about things. And I think that, helps add a little bit of balance to those concepts and ideas, And I think writing, a lot of it is about being able to plan and being able to come up with things on the fly. In fact, this is George R.R. Martin talked about how there's kind of like two, or it might have been him or some other writer, but there's I've seen this in a lot of writing forums and different places. There's two really main types of writing styles. It's called planting and pantsing. And they're called planting and pantsing, where it's or planning and pantsing. I don't know. Point is that one of them is like, you're gonna go, before you even write it, you're gonna write out all of the details, and then when you go to execute, you're going to follow those steps. Like,
wait, where does the pantsing come in? Like
pantsing is like by like
this guy has pants, and then
I don't know. I don't remember how it worked, how the analogy worked, but the idea of the other one that is called pantsing is, you basically you're in a situation where you're usually improvising a lot, but then you'll you'll kind of like put seeds in every once in a while to turn into a joke later. So you don't, or turn into grow into something later, right? So let's say you're writing a story. Let's say you're spoilers for Bleach if you have not seen the first like 60 or so episodes, or read the manga or whatever. But this is just through the Soul Society arc. But in Bleach, it has one of the most amazing plot twists, and that's why I don't want it spoiled. Most people have it spoiled anyway if you haven't seen it. But I still, like, for the very few people,
skip to this timestamp.
The thing is yeah, spoilers for Bleach. Thing is Bleach has one of the greatest twists in fiction ever. And the twist is that a character that dies kind of near the start of this arc, Sosuke Aizen, turns out he didn't die at all. He has this fucking like ability to just basically be able to change how people around him perceive the things. So he faked his death, and he was coming up with this crazy plan to do all this different stuff, and then he betrays the Soul Society and leaves, and then becomes the villain for the next arc, right? And it turns out that everything that was happening up until that point was just part of his plan. Now, it's not like there's other shows that don't do twist villains. Twist villains are like the oldest. Even Wicked had the twist villain, right? Of Michelle Yeoh.
Wizard of Oz is
that was a bit we were going to do, was we were actually going to talk about Wicked and say, oh man, isn't it crazy that I really didn't see it coming that the Wizard of Oz would be a bad guy and that he wouldn't really have magical powers.
That he wouldn't be a wizard. Yeah,
we've seen Wizard of Oz. What am I fucking talking about? It was the moment that I said that where I was like, wait,
do we just have
do
one
we just
joke?
have one joke? Like, is this that we just keep telling
Just
that same
being
joke
Mr.
over and over again?
Clueless.
Yeah. So that really, I think we need to work more deeply on these characters. You know,
Probably, or be normal. Maybe
if you get this far into this podcast episode, you guys are real gooners.
you guys are real bankers and trankers.
Please comment below the true meaning.
7 ampersand exclamation point $sign -6.
The true meaning of tranks. We're just gonna.
Oh, I liked mine better.
People won't know.
Okay.
People, the true meaning of tranks is.
All right. Should we do it the planned way, where we planned it? I think we should. I think we do. Yeah,
we should.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, action. Oh yeah, I go first, right?
I think so.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, action. Yeah, man. What are we gonna call our podcast?
Yeah, we should call it Banks and Tranks.
Oh yeah, Banks and Tranks. That sounds great, but yeah, that's a cool idea, I think.
It was my first idea, so.
What's a trank though?
You don't know what a trank is?
Is that like a gay? Is that like a thing I wouldn't normally know? Probably.
My god! I'll just tell you, a trank is an all lesbian pride parade.
Does everybody know that?
Most,
Am I out of the loop?
Most people in the right communities know what that is. I bet you could look it up. I bet you could look that up, and you would find the dictionary definition on there.
Okay, so scene. That is the true meaning. And
ladies and gentlemen, that is what a trank is.
That is what a trank is.
And if you know that, then...
If you know that, especially if you're one of our friends, by the way, and you tell us the true meaning of trank...
You're a real G.
You're a real G, and I will pay for your next meal for the first person that says it.
For like McDonald's.
And I'll take a photo evidence so that it'll be, well, you can pay for McDonald's. I'll pay for something nice.
Okay.
And we'll take a video proof, like a photograph together that he knew the thing that I said, so that if somebody tries to come in second place, they can't do it. So only first come, first serve on this one, because I'm not that rich. Okay. Despite the gear and whatever. Okay, gear doesn't make a podcast, it turns out. Fucking turns out. I didn't even know that.
Gear? What?
Gear. This gear.
Oh, our setup.
Audio gear, yeah.
Oh.
It's called gear. That's what they call it in the audio
yeah, all these audio engineers always making up those bull crap.
Okay. Yeah, what were we saying though right before
I said
wow, we're really doing everything today.
Yeah, I'm throwing in everything.
We're the guy who watches Moana 2 or Moana every day. Guy who likes Moana.
Guy who watches Moana every day and goes on the treadmill for 2.5 hours just to watch fucking Moana. Yes.
Guy who is straight but is always talking about dick prints.
Yeah, you got him on this podcast. He's on this podcast. Say hi to everyone at home. Well,
hey,
I hope they're not at home.
This is a really cool episode.
I know this
is a really special episode because
now
while
5.
Probably nobody is ever going to watch this episode, this is going to be a permanent representation. I think of this is going to be
this is
something we're going to look back on.
People are going to sift through and they're going to be like,
people are going to find this and
this is who
there's going to be a lot
guys?
Of Easter eggs in the next 50 episodes that are only going to refer to this episode. Okay, there's going to be a bunch of Easter eggs.
I'm just going to at some point I'm just going to be saying Dr. Pepper Pyramid. I might just say that.
Dr. Pepper Pyramid. Remember the Dr. Pepper Pyramid episode?
Dr. Pepper Pyramid episode?
Yeah. Remember how life-changing the Dr. Pepper Pyramid was?
Yeah, the Dr. Pepper Pyramid.
That should be the name of this episode. Remember how life-changing the Dr. Pepper Pyramid was. Episode.
Say that 5 times fast. Dr. Pepper Pyramid, Dr. Pepper Pyramid, Dr. Pepper Pyramid, Dr. Pepper Pyramid.
Oh, we got it. We got it. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I guess the takeaways are we are a writing podcast.
Yes.
We're also going to talk about the current events as if they were written by someone.
I think that's already something good. We do. Is we say,
we're like, dude, the writers are running out of ideas. They keep bringing Elon Musk as the villain. He's such a lame villain.
I was going to say that exact thing actually.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So
when we talk about celebrities, it's going to be the people writing them, and in a way,
because
they are
characters
written.
They have designs.
Woo!
All right, we cracked it on this episode.
We did it, guys.
The Dr. Pepper Pyramid episode.
Yeah. We solved it. I think we're starting to identify. Oh, yeah. The last question was, what do you think my strengths are?
Wait, I thought I said yours.
Oh, did you? What was it?
I was saying how you're really good with planning your comedy.
No, that was just a off. Oh, I never finished explaining pantsing. So the idea, I do want to finish that explanation because it's very interesting. But the idea is that with Eisen, that's what I was talking about. Fuck.
Oh.
With Eisen,
yeah, this is going to be an ADHD podcast.
Normally, villains like that are usually very deeply planned out, or that's what you would think, right? Especially the way that it's executed, it seems so perfect. But the truth is, and I learned this when I was unemployed, and all I did every day was just write. I would write my story called Anomaly, and this story is like half of who I am. I put all of my real like thoughts and ideas into this one work of fiction, and it's very strongly inspired by Bleach. And there was a point where I just like looked at a villain, and I wanted to really like. I looked at all these other pieces that had happened up until that point in the story, and I realized that there was a twist here that I didn't even realize before that was always there. And then I applied that twist, and that has now become like one of my most important moments of writing. And that's when I realized that's what Taito Kubo did when he did the Eisen reveal. That initially he actually said that he didn't know where he was going to take the who killed Eisen idea. He didn't know it, but eventually it fell into place. And that's what pantsing is about, is you just plant seeds. You just put things in, and eventually it was something by like the edge of your pants or some shit you write by like.
Who brings the pants down? What is this perv? Which perv made up this name?
Look, it makes, I will, after this podcast, I will show you and it'll make sense. Okay? It'll make sense. But anyway.
Yeah, and I threatened to get naked on this podcast, so...
Yeah, you did, which was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, dead ass, that was weird.
Well, I'm an empty threatener, so...
It wasn't actually that weird because I knew it was an empty threat the whole time. I'm
an empty threatener.
I think I'm playing a character again. I think it's just fun. I think it's just fun to be...
and I think it's gonna work because when we do the writing podcast, we can talk about how we're writing that our character likes to not know what Wizard of Oz is or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I think this is the start. Well, yeah, we did also have that other idea where I was saying where we could always have one of us show up as a totally different person, and be in character for a whole episode.
Yeah,
I think that might be something that we want to do for another future episode again.
Guten Tag.
You're only gonna know if you watch this episode, and you're not going to. We're going to. We're probably not even gonna really do clips off of this episode. Really, there's not really. I don't think there's.
That is a very good idea. Is no clips.
Let's do a quick German regular show moment.
Sure. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Mordecai.
Oh, good morning, Rigby.
Oh, guten Morgen. Wow, do you like this Parkenstein?
Yes, this Parkenstein is a very enjoyable experience.
Wow.
But you know what's what makes this Parkenstein a much more enjoyable Placenstein to live in Stein?
If we do not do our work that Benson is giving us.
Mordecai, Rigby, get in my office now.
Why are you so mad? I was just talking.
Get in my fucking office. We are going to talk in there.
Okay, fine. We will go to the office.
Wow, Mr. Bubblegum Pops, why have you brought us into your office today?
Fuck, I forgot your name is Mr. Bubblegum Popsenstein.
My name is Benson, not Mr. Bubblegum Pops.
What? But then Mr. Bubblegum Pops, who is you? Who is Benson?
I'm Benson.
But then who is Mr. Bubblegum Pops?
It's not a person!
I feel so.
Well, you guys need to stop fucking around.
I feel so
and get
betrayed.
Back to work.
Fucking around, but I am just doing my work.
I overheard you saying that you're trying to blow off your work today. And let me tell you, whether or not you're German or American, that's not going to cut it.
Whoopsie daisy! I did not know you could hear my thoughts. And
what do you mean it was your thoughts? You clearly was saying it to me, Mordecai. And
and
you want to just finish the episode, man?
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
That's a wrap.
Bye. This is the best episode.
Wait
a
second.
Oh yeah, I think he should. Let's bring him back. Oh no! This is gonna be a different. I'm gonna do it in slow motion video.
Oh
yeah, so we can't do it. This is also part of the podcast. This is an avant-garde experience if I've ever had one. Why
did you guys put me on the floor? Oh, why was I on the floor?
Fuck you. You know this guy fucked my wife from when I was a professor from the episode where I said I was a professor in episode 1. You guys watched it again? That's a problem. We keep making callbacks to these episodes. Nobody's fucking seen. Nobody knows what the fuck is happening.
I know.
In this
We're
show.
like the Arrested Development
of podcasts. What the fuck is happening in this fucking show? Well, one day they'll understand. One day they'll get it. Okay, but this is
we're ahead of our time.
Ariana Grande is racist.
Yeah.
And what did we say was the title of the episode going to be? It was
wow. Do you remember
the Dr. Pepper pyramid? The Diet Dr. Pepper pyramid
episode. Because I sure do.
Why? Because what he said, and I was going to say it too. All right. Anyway, bye.